Hey guys, Dr. Austin from Arbol Chiropractic here. Today I wanted to take a minute and talk to you guys about a very important aspect of health, and that's sleep. Earlier this week on our website, arbolchiro.com, I published one of my most popular articles ever called The Number One Way to Improve Your Sleep Today. What's so important about that article is what I talk about is a very overlooked aspect of sleep, and I'm going to touch on it here and also expand on that and actually get into the top 3 ways you can improve your sleep today. You can start these right now, going into tonight, and hopefully wake up tomorrow feeling a lot better than usual. The number one thing I'd like to talk about, and that's what I published in the blog post, was talking about caffeine. Caffeine is a really underlooked thing, especially when it comes to sleep and in America because it's so common that people use it. It's estimated that 9 out of 10 Americans drink caffeine on a daily basis. And while it's not been shown necessarily to be harmful, it also hasn't really necessarily shown to be good for you either, except in a few isolated studies involving liver and things like that. So anyways, why is caffeine such a big deal? Well, the big deal is this. Anytime you ingest any amount of caffeine, and we'll just use an example here. Let's say you had 200 milligrams of caffeine at noon. The time it takes for your body to detoxify that by half is about 6 hours. And so you can picture that if you drank it at noon, by the time you get home from dinner, or home for dinner, home in the evening, 6 o'clock, you've still got about 100 milligrams of caffeine floating through your body, which is actually quite a lot. It's easily enough to keep you up all night. And I don't necessarily mean you won't fall asleep, but you won't hit those deep regenerative levels of sleep that let us wake up feeling great. And that's why a lot of people constantly wake up, even after sleeping 8, 9, 10 hours, just feeling exhausted because they still have caffeine floating around their blood from their lunch, coffee, maybe a Coke in the afternoon, an energy drink at 4, those kind of things. They all have a lot of caffeine in them. And like you said, that half-life, or how long it takes your body to detoxify half of that, is so long, 6 hours, that by the time your body is completely cleared out of caffeine, it can easily be 2, 3, 4 in the morning, a few hours before your next shot. So what I like to recommend to people is to really reduce how much caffeine they drink in the first place, and B, try and drink it all before about 9 a.m. That gives your body a good 12 to 13 hours, depending on what time you like to go to bed, to get all that out of there so you can really sleep and actually get into those deep levels of sleep. And a good way to tell if you're getting there is whether or not you're dreaming. If you're not dreaming and you're waking up feeling exhausted, chances are you've got too much caffeine in your blood and it's keeping you from getting into those deep, deep levels of sleep. So that's number one, the absolute most important thing to do today. Reduce that caffeine, get it all in you before about 9 a.m. or so. B, number two, second most important thing with that is that stay off TV screens, smartphones, and computers or so about an hour before bed. Why is that? You say, that's what I like to do when I get to bed. Well, the problem with those is that all those devices emit what's called blue light. Blue light is important because it basically tricks your brain into thinking that it's daytime. Your body follows a very strict circadian rhythm, which basically means it follows the patterns of the day. So when you're out in the daytime, the reason you don't tend to get sleepy is because you have the sunlight hitting your eyes, which goes into your brain and tells you, hey, it's daytime, time to stay awake, time to have energy. Now when the sun starts going down, you start to go, oh, it's time for me to relax, because your brain is cranking out melatonin, which is a hormone that helps you fall asleep. So being on your devices at that time before you go to sleep actually causes your brain to more or less think that it's time to get up, time to have energy. So if you finish up dinking around on the computer for an hour right before bed and you go lay in bed and you go, gosh, I can't fall asleep, I'm not even tired anymore. Well, if you combine that with the caffeine from our earlier point, you have a perfect storm for basically keeping you up all night and not getting any of the deep, restful sleep that's so important for overall health. The last thing I'll touch on real quick here is that I see the most in the office is chronic pain. And obviously an issue I'm pretty familiar with, being a chiropractor. I see a lot of that. But, a lot of people come in and when they can't sleep from chronic pain, it's either their neck, shoulder, or their hips. Almost surefire. And if those are what's keeping you up, then here's what I'd suggest to you. Call up your chiropractor, go get an adjustment, maybe 2 or 3 over the course of a week or 2, and see if you don't sleep a little better. If you're having pain in those areas, 9 times out of 10, that clears most of it up, lets you sleep a lot better. I've seen it 100 times, and I really strongly recommend for anyone with chronic pain issues sleeping, call up your chiro. It's a quick and easy way to kind of get that fixed up. You combine that with step 1 and 2 that I already talked about here. You'll be on your way to a better sleep before you know it. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys found a lot of value out of this video, and I hope you're planning on giving it a kick tonight and giving it a shot, because I think it'll really make a big difference for you. If ever you need any help, you can certainly check out our website, arbolchiro.com, or give one of our offices a call, 715-246-7500. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.